Ladies and gentlemen, Loki here, back at it again with another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be going over the gacha revenue. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, and just remember to take all of this with a grain of salt, because for instance, Wuthering Waves was released on the PlayStation, and they also are going to be on Steam at the end of April, so all of their revenue won't actually be tracked. And then also banners just release at different times, right? Like two characters may release in 1 month, and all that revenue, depending on banner schedules, all the revenue won't be like calculated, right? So take it with a grain of salt. It's just a generalization, right? Revenue is essentially just a broad stroke, right? So just don't take it too serious. That's all I ask. But yeah, let's get right into it. I'm only gonna talk about the games that I know of. I've seen people have ads for Sword of Convallaria. That game went up just a tad bit. Punishing Gray Raven, Kuro's other baby, goes up a little bit. If you play that game, let me know what was going on there. Honkai Impact Third, down about 500k. So I do have a friend that plays Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis like religiously. I don't know why the revenue went up. Maybe there was like a Sephiroth banner or something. I have no idea. But maybe I'll get with him later and see what was going on there. But the revenue almost doubled for Ever Crisis, which is interesting. Reverse 1999. Now I do play Reverse 1999 on the side myself. And I praise it just for not having like a predatory weapon banner at all. All the weapons are like farmable. So and the story's hit or miss with R99. I'm not gonna lie. There was one based in Texas. It had Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. It was a haunted hotel. Fire story, absolutely, like so sick. I don't know if you can actually go back and experience cutscenes in the story in game or anything like that, but a lot of the stories are hit or miss. The Flutter Page story with Tooth Fairy, fire story. That story was so good. But yeah, I'm not sure about the current one with the where they're on the boat. I'm not sure about that, but so I believe, let's see, let me think. February would have been, I'm just gonna look it up. I actually don't know. February, I think February was the ballet chick, and then March would have been Flutter Page, which Flutter Page is, I mean, both those characters are T0 and CN, which says a lot, because if they're T0 and CN, with CN being a few patches ahead, then they're very good characters. So their revenue is slightly went down. The highest I've ever seen their revenue was during Anniversary with Lucy. Lucy was broken. Just a busted Anniversary character. If you didn't pick that character up, I am so sorry. AFK Journey doesn't move too much. Azure Lane goes up. Solo Leveling Arise gains an extra 1 million. I think I remember hearing something about that myself. Infinity Nikki, I've been seeing this game everywhere. This is the combined revenue. Again, mobile. Slightly goes down, but I mean, it's extremely consistent. I don't know anything too much about that. I've seen like a bunch of ads from certain streamers. And then Girls Frontline 2 March, I believe this would have been the current update right now, right? With Klukai, I believe so. And they go up 5 million, which is huge. 5 million is actually huge for Girls Frontline 2. That game is doing very well. They gave out a lot of goodies. Like I was able to, like I do play this game. I'm a tourist, and in Girls Frontline 2, I was able to pull Klukai V1, I believe it's called in that game, and then her weapon, and I pulled her weapon in one pull. So that's pretty cool. But I am a tourist in that game. That game actually has like its events, even though they're all like time gated, like weirdly time gated. Their events are actually kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. I would say out of like every gacha game and their events, like Zenless is like top tier, right? With their mini games, their events, their arcade. Girls Frontline 2 is like a close second in my book for sure. Goddess of Victory, Nikke. I know a lot of people that play Nikke. They go down slightly. It's not too much of an issue. There was one that was just like drastic. It was insane. I think it was earlier. It was like monumental. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a bit later. But I saw the drop and I was just like, oh my god. I don't know. Whatever. But the next thing I want to take a look at is Zenless Zone 0. So February. Did we take a look at Zenless? We didn't even pull up Zenless. Oh, we don't have to because we play the game. Zenless would have been Evelyn. This would have been Evelyn, and then this would have been Sandby. Silver Soldier Anby, right? So not too much has changed. Zenless is pretty consistent. They're out of the top 10, but they're probably going to remain out of the top 10 low key. I don't see Trigger banner sales being too crazy, especially because you typically, I'm learning that you really want Silver Soldier Anby and Trigger together. But I genuinely believe, and I was going to make a video on this, I genuinely believe that Anby is supposed to be an enabler for another Aftershock DPS in the future or something. But there's no way with her kit, because her kit doesn't even like, her Aftershocks don't even increase the days. It's so stupid. Like, she's solid with Trigger for sure, but I really think there's going to be another Aftershock DPS that is going to be probably on the same level of Miyabi, and you're going to have Trigger doing off-field damage, and that's going to actually be insane. Or attack DPSs are just cooked in Zenless. I don't know. We'll see. But they're pretty consistent. Fate Grand Order. Fate Grand Order is always doing well. This game is always doing really well. It goes up another million. They have one of the worst banners in like gaming history, or in gacha history. Like their banners, like to get a, I don't know what you call it in FGO, but like whatever would be like a 5-star, it can take you forever. I remember a friend wanted me to like download it and get into it, and some of the worst banners I've ever seen. Dokkan Battle. I'm assuming this is the one I was talking about earlier when I couldn't find it. I'm assuming this was an anniversary, and then this is where it is after anniversary. It has to be. I would be shocked. Someone let me know if you know anything about this game or if you play it down in the comment section below. But like, this is a monumental drop, and this looks like after an anniversary patch. That's what it looks like. Same with Naruto. I think I would say the same with Naruto as well, but that game's only in CN. Or this is only the CN revenue, I believe, or something like that. And then we have Wuthering Waves, and it's a little weird because Wuthering Waves, February 13th through March 6th would have been Phoebe banner. So this is February on the left. So I'm assuming February, what did I say, 13th? So that would have been the, yeah, so it would essentially be Phoebe banner. So that would be the third. This is why I said what I said at the beginning of the video. Take it with a grain of salt. And then after that, we had Brant banner March 6th through March 26th. So that is where most of this revenue comes up with a Chang Li rerun. I guess it makes sense when you have one character on a banner, and then you have two with the other character being very good. Chang Li is so solid. It's my favorite character in the entirety of the game. But either way, Wuthering Waves, seeing Wuthering Waves in the top 10, good job to you, Kura. Weird Horse Game, and then Honkai Star Rail. So this would have been Trivi banner, correct? Let me check, because Mighty's banner was March 19th through April 8th. So his banner's still active right now. So this actually would have been more so February 25th. So this is like a portion of Trivi mixed in with Mighty. Either way, yeah, because I would say people got their Tribbies early, So this is more so Tribby, and I would say this is more so Mighty. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section if I'm reading this wrong, but it makes sense. Male character and then busted character. Like, everyone knows how good Tribby is. You're kind of like forced to pull for the character with the direction the game's going in. And then I know a lot of people pulled for Mighty just because they love the character's design, but you also know Castorice is coming after him, so if you're a meta slave, then you're probably saving. Then we have Genshin Impact in the number 3 spot, and I believe February 12th through March 4th would have been this character, the Mitsuki, right, with the healer rerun. And then March 4th through March 25th would have been a Farina rerun with Risley. So it makes sense that their revenue goes up. Farina's insane, obviously, and then Risley's pretty, like, I know his C1's, it corrects a lot of his issues, I believe. I don't know too much about the game anymore, but, and then obviously Love in Deep Space is insane. You people are crazy. Holy, I don't see this game dropping anytime soon, but it's not number 1 actually. Can you guess what number 1 is? The number 1 spot is actually taken by Pokemon TCG, only dropping about 10 million. But yeah, that is the revenue chart. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you surprised at any of these placements? What do you expect revenue to look like next month, right? We're gonna have Castorice next month, so you're gonna see the 29 million here, and then it's probably gonna go up exponentially, I would say. I'm assuming, I would say, if I had to make a prediction, 60-70 million maybe. I don't see it going, oh man, they have triple banners also, huh? Ooh, maybe 80. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 100, but I'm gonna say like 80 million. I'd say probably about, is 80 too much? I don't know, man. This is like one of the most anticipated characters in the history of the game, and CN makes up a large portion of the revenue. I see it actually going up, even though the West is essentially protesting the game. Zenless, I see Zenless remaining the same, like we mentioned before. We have the chick with the umbrella, and then the guy with the briefcase blade gun thing. I'm not too interested in those characters myself, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get some early access, and it'll make me want to pull. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.